What's up, you guys? OldSchoolZerker here, and in this video I just wanted to talk about a recent dev blog that was written by mod Matt K on April 5th, 2013. And this dev blog was dealing with rare items and bringing them back, or I guess I should say introducing them to old school RuneScape. And he just basically wanted to know if people wanted them to come back and how they should go about it. And he had three main questions at the top of the dev blog that he asked us. So before I get into this discussion, I wanted to let you guys know that I will be linking the link to the link in the link. I will be leaving the link to the dev blog down below in the description if you want to read that, and if there's some things that you don't understand, I might not explain them clearly, and you want to read it for yourself, it'll be down there. Also, I'm going to try and keep this short, unlike my God Words video. I'm going to try and end it at 10 minutes max. And all I'm going to be doing is sitting here training at Yaks, so there won't be anything to watch. You can just minimize this video, and it won't hurt my feelings. So getting right into it, the first question is, would you like rare items to return in some form? And my answer to that is yes, I feel like rare items should return. It was a part of the game back in 2007. It gives us that real RuneScape feel. It's sort of a nostalgic thing. I've always wanted to actually own a rare item because I've never actually owned a rare item for more than a day at a time, and I always thought it'd be pretty cool to actually have one if I did manage to actually get my hands on one, depending on how they released it. But yes, I think they should return to old school RuneScape, and I don't think that they'll hurt the economy at all. I mean, it's a completely different item. They're cosmetic. It's not like they give you power-ups or anything. They're just a purely cosmetic item that has no stat bonuses, and they're basically just a way to show off people's wealth. And I think they look really cool. For one, they all look really cool, and they go with a bunch of items, and you can walk around showing off how rich and cool you are and how good at RuneScape you are because you own a party hat. But yes, I think they should return because it gives you that ultimate goal to go for with your bank. Because without rares, obtaining, all of the good items in the game, it takes a while, but it's not like a super hard thing to do. Like, you could probably do it within a year easily, especially if you're a main, because you'll be able to boss and pretty much do everything in the game. And the game will get kind of boring if there's nothing else to go for, and rares add that entertainment value to the game. Depending on how expensive they'll be, like right on release, they might not be very expensive right away, but later on down the road, they will be a very hard item to obtain because they will be a lot more expensive, and it keeps people more interested into the game. It gives them that ultimate goal to go for, because without goals in a game, you get bored of it. And it's the same with everybody. There will be people that'll say, oh, I'm a diehard RuneScape fan, I'll never get bored of it. If you don't have anything to work towards, you will get bored of this game. Trust me. And rares will add that goal to go for. So yes, I think they should be introduced into old school RuneScape. The second question that mod Matt K asked is, if you vote for rare items to return, would you like the currently tradable rare items to remain tradable? And basically what he's asking with this question is, he's wondering if they do introduce party hats, pumpkins, Santa hats, etc. into the game. 60 hit points. Awesome. Anyways, getting back on topic, he's basically asking if they want to make all of the rare items untradeable. So, it's not like for the people that think that they're going to ruin the economy, or if they just don't want them in general. I don't know why. He's basically just asking if we want them to stay tradable or not, and I think they should stay tradable because that's the whole point of rare discontinued items, is that they're tradable and they're a very, very rare and expensive item to get, and that just makes rares rares. Like, they're not the rares that we all know if they're not tradable. I don't know why you wouldn't want them tradable, because like I said, it gives you that ultimate goal to go for it. And if they're not tradable, then obviously everybody's going to be able to get one of everything, and they're not going to be that special. And I I just think that they should be tradable still, and then leave all the untradable items untradable. I don't think they should mess around with that at all. Leave everything the same, and don't mess around with, you know, making them tradable or not. Just leave it all the same. And finally, the third question that he asked is, how would you like rare items to return? And basically he's asking how they should distribute the rare items into old school RuneScape if people actually voted for them to return. And this one's probably the trickiest question of them all, because don't quote me on this, but I have heard the way they originally distributed party hats is they made certain monsters around RuneScape drop Christmas crackers, which is the original form of a party hat, in case you didn't know. They started as a Christmas cracker and you had to use them on another person, and then I'm not exactly sure how it works, if like it's random if you get a party hat or not, but the party hat's original form is a Christmas cracker, just for you guys that don't know. And basically Jagex didn't tell anybody in any way, shape, or form that monsters were going to be dropping these items. Nobody knew what they were or what service they, you know, served, and what service they served, what purpose they served. I'm gonna correct myself. And basically people didn't know that, you know, a few years down the road how expensive they were going to be and how much money they would actually be worth. And they didn't know that they were going to be discontinued either. So obviously now, if they kept them tradable, everybody knows that party hats and Santa hats and Halloween masks are going to be worth a lot of money down the road. So if they just have certain monsters drop them, as soon as somebody finds out about that, word will spread like wildfire, and people will just start camping the hell out of that monster. There will be hordes of people in every world at that certain monster just to try and hoard Christmas crackers or whatever other tradable rare item that they could be dropping. And if they did it that way, rares wouldn't really have the same sense of value as they do in the real game, because there would just be so many of them in the game. So I don't think that that's really the smartest way to go about it. The best way I can think that they should go about it is to hold some sort of event like they did with the chicken suit recently. And, you know, they might, I'm not saying they have to make a new one. They can just make a simple event that we could do. And I feel like that every account should have a maximum of one reward. So meaning like on my account, I could only get like one Christmas cracker, one Halloween mask, and one Santa hat. Each account should have a limit of one. That way, the amount of rares in the game doesn't get so much that they just become worthless. We want them to actually be worth something. So I feel like they should make the maximum amount that an account could get is one, and that'll kind of keep the price on them kind of high. And you know that there is, you know, probably, I don't know how many, there's probably at least 60,000 people, if not more, that play old school. So that will be a lot, but it's kind of the same concept at the beginning. They weren't worth that much at the beginning when they were released. And over time, people just did stupid shit with them. People started hoarding more of them to themselves. People would alch them. They would be taken out of the game forever, and they just eventually became more and more rare, and in turn were worth more money. So if each person only had one, you know, give it a year or two, they'll be worth a lot more that year than how they were when they were just released, because obviously everybody's going to know that they're untradeable and people are just going to be trying to sell them, and it's going to be really weird when they first introduce them. But, you know, give it a year or two down the road, and then they'll turn into the normal rares that we all know and love, assuming that more people come into old school RuneScape, and, you know, so they won't have the rares. That'll mean the amount of rares in the game compared to the overall community would be less, and in turn would make them worth more. And that's pretty much how I think they should go about distributing the rares. And if you guys can think of any better way that they should distribute them, please leave a comment below. I would love to know. I would love to have a little discussion with you guys about this topic. And one last thing I wanted to get into here is, in the dev blog, he did mention a couple content polls that they will be holding here in the near future. The first rare item content poll is going to be held on April 11th through April 18th of 2013. So make sure you go vote for that. And basically what they're going to be asking in that poll is if we want rare items to return or not. And I'm going to be voting yes for that because I really think rare items should be reintroduced into old school RuneScape. And, you know, so be sure to go vote for that, you guys. Again, that's going to be held from midday, April 11th, 2013 until midday, April 18th, 2013. Did I say 2011? I think I did. 2013, year 2013, this year. We all know what year it is. I obviously don't. So that's the first content poll. And so the second one that he said they're going to be holding is assuming that at least 75% people vote yes for rare items to return, because if you guys don't know, in the content polls, the amount of yes votes there has to be is at least 75% for whatever the content poll is asking for that to go through. It's not just majority vote, so it has to be 75% yes. And assuming that that goes through, they're going to have a second content poll, a rare item content poll, I should say, held from April 18th until April 25th. And that's basically just going to be asking people how they want to distribute them, whether it's going to be similar mechanics as before, very rare reward from clue scrolls, or an NPC shop, etc. They're just going to be trying to find the best way to reintroduce them back into the game. So I'm going to end the video here, you guys. Leave a comment below on your whole opinion on this whole rare item situation. Again, I feel like they should return it. It gives a better sense of RuneScape, the nostalgic feel, I think, and I would love to see them return to RuneScape. And again, the link to this devlog will be down below in the description if you want to check that out yourself. And thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we taking over. Yeah, we taking over the game. And you don't have to wait now.